Hey everyone, how y'all doing? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing another writing update. So I've not done one since September when I talked about my Camp NaNoWriMo recap and also talking about my revision plan for Reasons Why Not to Draft 4. Since then, a lot of things have happened and I have a lot of things to talk to you guys about. So let's just jump right in. So first, let's just talk about the revisions for Reasons Why Not To and kind of how those went. I did so many revisions. I ended up doing 2 drafts since I last updated you guys. I did draft 4 and also draft 5. So for draft 4, I had a lot of things that I had to do. I had to rewrite the end. I keep saying the end, but really it was more like from the midpoint of the book to the end of the book. I had to do pretty much like a full rewrite. There were some things that I kept and moved over, but overall it was like a full rewrite. And guys, if you've been following me along on this journey, you know that I've done so many rewrites on this one book. The first 3 drafts were all different. They were all rewritten. Like, I just keep having to rewrite portions of the book, which is really annoying, but I had to do it. It was hard. I struggled with it. It was really annoying, but I did it, and I'm way happier with how the end is now than it was before, so I'm really happy with that. I also had a ton of character revisions to do. I basically did a revision pass for each character, which were also hard. I had to do one character twice because I didn't do it justice the first time. I also did a dialogue pass of revisions, which was basically just me reformatting some of the dialogue tags and like the actual dialogue itself. Like, I just realized that I was doing punctuation wrong with dialogues my entire life and no one ever told me, so that was really tedious and annoying. I also did focused revisions round for the romance arc between my main character and the love interest. I don't think I ended up doing that much to it. There's like a couple of things in that draft. There's also plot things. There was the whole BiblioFest, which is the book convention in my book, that I had to kind of adjust. There were things in it that I had to cut out that just could not be in the book anymore. That ended up being a big portion of things that I had to cut. I think I also tried to extend BiblioFest a little bit more, just like make it feel a bit longer because I felt like I rushed over it too quickly. Yeah, so I did a lot of revisions for draft 4. It doesn't sound like that much when I just talked about it, but like, you guys can go watch my vlogs from the last few months if you kind of want to see in real time what I did. It was a struggle. It was a struggle. It was, I don't know if it was the hardest revision I've ever had to do in terms of like mental health. Like, I feel like draft 3 like took way more of a toll on me than this one did, but it was still very hard and I struggled a lot with it, especially in terms of lacking motivation and just feeling like ridden with self-doubt. So it's just very hard to like get myself to work a lot of the times. I think particularly in November it was really hard. Then there's just like a lot of self-doubt as well, feeling like I couldn't do it and that I wasn't gonna be able to fix this book. A lot of times feeling like it was just too broken and just kind of like losing faith a little bit in the book and just being very self-conscious of literally every aspect of it and just feeling like this wasn't a worthy book that I should be writing, which was a really like kind of hard feeling to deal with. And then I was also just really busy, so I found time management to be kind of difficult. I had a lot of things going on during these revisions, particularly again in November. So I decided for December to do Vlogmas, so I uploaded a video every single day of December. If you guys have not watched all of those videos, I will link the playlist down below if you want to go check it out. I worked really hard and stressed myself out so badly. That meant that in November I not only had to plan out 31 videos to go up, I also had to maintain my upload schedule in November with my 3 videos a week and make sure I didn't fall behind on that because I really like to be consistent. Haven't been consistent this month, but that's besides the point. I'm burnt out. And then I also had to then pre-film a lot of the videos, and then I had to pre-edit a lot of the videos, and so I was busy doing that while also trying to write, while also trying to maintain my normal upload schedule, while also like actually reading and just doing all of these things. It was really stressful, and then obviously there's so many things going on in the world with the pandemic and everything, and so that was also weighing down on me. So just in general, I had a lot of things going on while trying to do these revisions, and I also had a deadline because I wanted to send the book out to beta readers, which is the next topic of discussion. So with draft 4 being completed, it was time to send the book off to some more beta readers. If you've been following along with my journey all of 2020, I sent my book up to a couple of friends to read, I believe in May of last year. Their feedback is what I went off of to do these later revisions, but I needed to send the book out again to get more feedback. I again was dealing with those feelings that I did the last time I did a revision, where I was feeling like I wasn't actually improving the book. I was scared I wasn't making it any better, editor. I was scared I didn't do a good job on the revisions that I was given, and so I was feeling really anxious about that. But I decided to send the book out to 3 friends this time. So I sent it to Peyton, who read it the first time, because I wanted her insight on if I actually made it better or not, since she had read the book prior. I also sent it to my friend Alyssa, who is one of my closest friends. She's literally been here the entire time I've worked on this book, been my like hype person for it, which I deeply appreciate, and so I felt like it was time to give her the book. And then I also decided to send it to Kath, who is a newer friend. By the way, I'll link all their channels down below for you guys to go check out. They have wonderful channels. And so Kath was a new friend that I decided to send it to kind of on a whim. I didn't let myself think about it too much. I just kind of messaged her and was like, are you interested? Because I will totally send it to you. And I am so happy. It's one of the best decisions that I have made while working on this book. So I was really nervous to send it to them all for different reasons. Peyton, because I was worried that she wouldn't think I improved upon the last draft that she had read, and I was like, is she gonna like it? Is she gonna think it's worse? What am I gonna do if she doesn't like it? And then with Alyssa, I felt like there were all of these expectations there. Like, I felt like she was just too excited for the book because she'd literally heard every single thing about this book for the last couple of years and has like been building up these expectations. I don't know, like I just felt like she was too excited for the book, and there was no way it was gonna live up to the expectations that she had set for it. So I was really nervous about that. And then with Kath, she had never read any of my writing before. Like, I hadn't sent her a single snippet or anything, so she was coming into this like completely blind to what my writing is like with absolutely no expectations. And so I was really nervous about that as well. It was just very anxiety inducing and I was struggling a lot, but they all read it. They all loved it, which was so amazing, and I literally am so grateful to all of them for reading it. Peyton had some great insight, obviously, because like I said, she did read the book before, so she was able to tell me if I had improved things. She ended up telling me that she liked how I changed things, which was very reassuring. Alyssa ended up being my like hype person and like my cheerleader for the draft. She didn't give me too many critiques because she was just enjoying it too much, which is such a great feeling. I feel like Peyton and Kath definitely gave me enough notes and critiques to kind of make up for Alyssa's lack thereof, but it didn't bother me at all. I feel like I really needed her cheerleading in the midst of all the anxieties and getting all these critiques from the other two. I felt like I just needed somebody to just hype me up and kind of inflate my ego a bit and make me feel good about the book again, and she definitely did that, which I really appreciated. And then Kath, oh my god, her help was so invaluable. She is so good at editing. She fixed so many grammatical things that I didn't even think about. She added commas, deleted commas. I didn't know that I used the word that so much when I did not need to. I cut hundreds of that, and I feel so bad that she had to like mark every single one. I'm so sorry, Kath. So she was just completely invaluable in just cleaning up my actual writing, and then the actual critiques she gave me were so helpful, and she came up with ideas and ways to like change things and adjust things that I never even thought of, and it just made the book so much better. And so I'm so grateful to all 3 of them for reading the book for me so quickly, giving me all this amazing feedback. So with all that beta reader feedback, I ended up doing another round of revisions. So I did draft 5. So with draft 5, I had to fix some things. I did all of Kath's notes on the grammar, and I was also on a deadline because I was submitting to Author Mentor Match in January, which I'll get to in a second. And so I was kind of like on a tight deadline. Like, I had like a couple of weeks to get all of this stuff done. So I also had to make the executive decision to not do some of the revisions yet because I just didn't have time before submitting. So I just tackled the kind of most important ones, kind of just some of the things kind of like in the end or the middle, I think, that Kath wanted me to do. And while I was doing it, I ended up sending things back to Kath so she could do more grammar things and just kind of let me know if I was improving upon things. And I'm also so happy because there was one part in the beginning of the book that Kath didn't like. She wanted me to cut it from the book, and I felt so passionately about it that I did not want to cut it, and no one who had read the book prior had a problem with it. So I was like, maybe it's just like a personal preference of Kath. And so we were like kind of talking about it, and I'm like, I don't want to cut this. Like, I value your opinion, but like I don't want to cut it, and at the end of the day it is my decision. But I kind of took some of the critiques that she had in general about the scene and the reasons why she didn't like it, and I tried to fix upon those. And I ended up sending it back to her afterwards because like, there's no way I can cut this scene. Like, I feel like it just takes too much of this one character's personality to cut this scene. And so when I sent it back to her, she actually ended up loving it, which makes me so happy. Like, she just thought that it flowed so much better better and it just worked. And she's like, I'm glad that you didn't cut it. And I'm like, good, I'm glad I listened to my gut and didn't cut it, because I love that scene, and I think it honestly would have just taken too much out of the book that I didn't want to take out. So revisions were hard, but I managed to get them done, and I'm actually really happy with where the book is. Honestly, it was just such a helpful experience to have all three of them give me some feedback and help with my book, and also to have Kath help me afterwards as well and reread some scenes just to make sure that they were still good. Overall, it was just so helpful, and I'm really grateful to all of them for helping me. Like, I am indebted to them. I love them all so much. And also just in general, these revisions, while they were still difficult, and I definitely almost had a mental breakdown one night because I just couldn't get this one scene the way that I wanted it to, because we were changing like a pretty big scene. I think it was the midpoint that we were adjusting. It was not a hard edit in theory, but it was just hard for me to feel like I was writing it correctly, and I nearly had a mental breakdown, but it's fine. But overall, it was like a rather enjoyable experience, which is new for me. I never have like an enjoyable experience with revising, but I felt like I was actually making the book better. I felt like it read so much cleaner because of Kath's help with the grammar, and then we also just like changed some sentences to make them a bit tighter in general, and I'm just way happier with where the book is now than where it's been ever before. In amidst all of this, because I wanted to submit author mentor match, I also needed a query and a synopsis, so I also was writing those at the same time while revising, and also while they had the book and were beta reading, and that was really hard. I'd never written a query letter or a synopsis. I'd never queried before, so I never needed these things, and it was an experience. I also had my friends look over that, so I had Kath look over it a couple of times, I had Alyssa look at it, I had Peyton look at it, and I had Rachel look at it. Like I said, I'll link everybody's information down below. I also had Rocky from Blonde with the Book help me with it, which I'm so grateful that she took the time out of her day to help me with that, and I feel like she just helped me bring it to this whole new level that I'm obsessed with. Like, I genuinely love my query letter, which is an amazing feeling. The synopsis I feel like needs work, definitely, but I feel like it was good enough to submit to AMM. So if you don't know what author mentor match is, we'll get into that portion of this video. So author mentor match is this mentorship program where mentee hopefuls can submit the first 50 pages of their book along with a synopsis and a query letter to 4 mentors, and if you get chosen, that mentor will help you revise your book and then help you along the querying and publishing process. And so this was something that I really wanted to do. I have a whole vlog coming for it in February once the mentees are announced, so I don't want to talk about it too much in this video, but I needed all of these revisions to be done and everything to be done for AMM, and I'm just going to talk about maybe how submitting to AMM has made me feel. It's been such an anxiety-inducing situation because I've never done something like this before. Like, I've never just sent my book out to somebody who I didn't know before, let alone like a publishing professional. Like, these people are agented, or they have book deals, or they have a book already published. So published writers are reading my book or like at least looking at my book, which is just crazy to think of, that they are looking at my writing. So the submission window was from the 11th, I think, to like the 14th of January, and mentees are going to be announced, I believe, the week of February 3rd, and I am feeling really extremely anxious about it. But overall, it's been such a fun experience. So there was this whole thing called AMM party happening leading up to the submission window opening, where mentee hopefuls could answer some prompts and questions about their writing and kind of about their AMM hopes and dreams and things like that, and it was just really fun to participate in. So overall, this has been a really fun experience. Whether or not I get chosen, I'm really grateful for everyone who's helped me in the journey, and I'm just really happy that I've done it, like I said, regardless of what actually happens in the end. So I just kind of wanted to update you guys on that and let you know that I've done it, and it's a really big step for me. So the last thing that I just quickly want to talk about is my new project. So for about the past year, maybe a little bit less than a year, I've kind of been teasing this new project to you guys. I basically have another YA contemporary that I want to write, and I've kind of been keeping it quite secretive from you guys. I'm not really talking about it that much because I just don't want to say something if the book ends up changing, because it's definitely not figured out yet. I haven't even properly started to brainstorm or anything, and there's just so many like question marks around it. I don't know exactly what it's going to end up being, and for the longest time I didn't really have like a solid plot for it. Not like I do now. I have a bit of a plot maybe, but I'm not entirely sure. But I thought that it was time to tell you guys about it a little bit. So like I said, it is another YA contemporary. That is the genre and age group that I write in, and this one deals with lost friendships, almost love, meaning that people who didn't date but they almost dated, or they felt like they were almost in love, that kind of thing. Also hoping that it will deal with dual timelines, so like a then and now or before and after. And I'm also thinking that I'm going to incorporate emails, like email formatting, into the book, which I think is really exciting. So I'm just so excited for this book. It's also loosely based off of something that I went through in high school, so it's going to be quite a personal book for me, which I feel like are always my favorite to write. And I'm gonna like actually pull from my own experiences with this person that I knew. I don't know, I don't want to like again say too much about it, but that's kind of like the gist of it. But we still have like a week to go until the AMM mentees are announced, and so I kind of want to take these next few days and start brainstorming a bit more seriously for this book, because I'm hoping to write a draft of it this year. It's one of my goals for the year. I don't know when I'm going to be able to write it, because I don't know what's going to happen with Reasons Why Not To. I really like, this whole year is really up in the air, but all I know is that I want to try to get as much brainstorming and outlining done before I write it. I think writing the book is going to be hard with like a dual timeline. Like I'm doing so many things with this book that I've never done before, and so I think it's going to be a really challenging book. So I want to give it as much time as I can in the planning stage before I actually draft it, because I want to get into the habit of having cleaner first drafts so that I don't have to end up doing all of these rewrites. So yeah, basically I'm going to spend this next little bit brainstorming, and I'm really excited about it. I will obviously keep you guys updated on what happens with it, but I'm just really excited to start working on a new project, because I haven't done that in a really long time. The last time I started like a brand new project was 2019, because 2020 was all about Reasons Why Not To, and then doing draft 2 of my other book, The Show Must Go On. So I haven't started a new project since 2019, so I'm very excited to do so. But yeah, this was a video chock full of a lot of information. I know I had a lot of things to update you guys on. I didn't mean to take such like a break from doing writing updates, but I'm hoping to do another writing update at some point in February or March, talking about everything. So we'll see how things go, but look out for my author mentor match vlog, hopefully coming in a couple of weeks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a huge thumbs up. Comment down below what you guys have been working on recently writing wise, because I'd really love to know. Subscribe down below if you have not yet already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!